I'm sorry if sometimes I bring to your attention conversations which, if I'm honest, never took place. But this is not the case here. Here we have our hero Sight and Broom Kate debating none other than everybody else in the world. Sight and Broom Kate. Two things. 1. You know God exists and you love him. 2. The debate is over and you lost. Everybody else in the world, thank you for my time. The end. It never ceases to amaze me that Sight and Broom Kate's debates last more than 7 seconds. If they did last more than 7 seconds, it 1. Would give Sai enough time to convert everybody on Earth. 2. Would give everybody on Earth time to have a life. Unfortunately, when Sai starts with you, you can forget about ever talking to your friends and family again. And it's not Sai's fault, it's mine. It all started on second 6. Instead of thanking Sai for the time he has given me, by defeating me so swiftly, I let my hubris get the better of me. You see, part of the human nature says that we all need to be right, even when we clearly are not. In addition to the need to be right, man has a need to be loved. But as it's Sai we're talking about, I didn't give it a second thought. In the safety of my brain, the winner was me. Of course, Sai saw through me. Declaring victory is a well-known loser tradition, practiced on the international level as well as the dinner table. Sai should have ignored me and moved on to the next skill, but he didn't. Can you defy lost? Me and my big mouth. He pounced on me like a wrecking ball. I will, after you define definition, and whatever you're going to say next will be met with the how do you know move. To those of you who don't know the how do you know move, it's a vicious attack on the opponent's grasp on reality. Very few who debated Sai survived it with their sanity intact. Sai looked at his wristwatch. So many debates to win, so many lost souls to bring home. I was about to give up, but Sai stayed there. He was going nowhere. You won the debate, I said. Or at least that's what I thought I said. Define one, he said, and when you're done, I'd like to hear a definition of debate. I was beginning to see a pattern. Not the one where everything I was going to say had an infinite number of meanings. That's easy. The pattern that was emerging was this. Sight and Broomgate didn't care about converting the other 6,999,999,999 lost souls. He was going to convert me. 6,999,999,999 times if he needed to. Sorry, I said to Sai. My head was spinning. I'm losing my grip on reality. Any ideas? Define reality, said Sai. And when you're done, I'd like to ask you, how do you know what you said is true? I was going to ask him to define true, but didn't. And when you say true, can you define untrue? I looked outside the window and saw 6,999,999,999 people going about their business, totally oblivious to how I sacrificed my life and time for them. In a strange way, it felt good. Define good, said Sai. I proceeded to explain that good was a value that naturally emerged when, one morning, 600 million years ago, two living cells decided, without talking too much about it, that instead of fighting each other, they could combine the resources and create a greater whole. But I realized it was a mistake. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. It was as good a description of the origin of good in nature as can be, but it was a mistake to mention it. On second thought, it was quite a good description of a possible origin of love as well. Sai was winning by a huge margin. In fact, he indeed won the debate on second 6, but obviously winning and being right was not enough for him. Sai, I said, can I go home? He was about to ask me to define the next 15 words I was about to say, but I was kneeling and kissing his feet. I can't take it anymore. Is it the margin of victory you're not happy about? Surely you can't be more right than you currently are. He was about to ask me to define right, and then ask me how I knew my definition of right was right. But then he clumsily put his hand on my head and said, of course I want to win the debate and be right. That's 6 seconds. But it looks to me like however hard I beat the crap out of you, you still don't love me. 600 million years ago,